Hey guys, welcome to this video being the PAX 2017 recap. I had an absolute marvelous time in Melbourne. My girlfriend and I got down there, down to Melbourne just about 4 or 5 days before the actual PAX video game convention started. Now, for those that don't know, PAX is just a huge convention of just nerdy goodness. You know, pro streamers come out, the pro gamers come out, you know, people just have a love and passion for video games come out, and that's what it's all about. It's just getting in there and, you know, getting in amongst your friends and, you know, your favorite sort of consoles and PCs and board games and pinball machines. It's just everything you can think of. That's great in the world of gaming, in the world of, you know, board games and card games, and just mixing it all together, and it just makes one great cake. That's all I can think of as a cake. You mix all those good things together. So yeah, my girlfriend and I got there, you know, about 4 days before PAX started, and I had a bit of a tour around Melbourne. We had a good look at the Wallace and Gromit expedition, which was fantastic, and then we finally got to the day of PAX, and I was so excited. I didn't know what to expect. It was my second year going there, and we had, you know, pre-got our passes. I only went there on the Saturday, just for the sheer size of the event. It takes you a whole day to look at everything, and just to go for 3 days was quite a task to try and do, but I think I'm going to try and do it next time I go down there. Definitely. But yeah, we got the 1 day pass, and you know, we went in there and it was just awesome. You walk through and it had this really cool setup, and I've got a picture here of this Pac-Man, and had all, I really should have done a video of it, but it had this really cool, you know, the music in the background of it, and you know, lots of people were just standing there taking their photos as they were coming in. And then once we got in, wow, we hit with the crowds. The crowds were massive. This Saturday event for PAX was a sold out crowd, and it was like sardines in there, but it was just a really good experience. I had to go check out my favorite area to start off with, and that is always the classic gaming area. Now, I've walked past and I thought I would take a nice cool shot of, you know, people playing video games within the area. So within the classic games area, you can sit down with some beanbags and play your handheld games. They have different sort of handheld devices from different sort of eras, and you can play things like Game Boy, and you know, you can play like more modern sort of handhelds as well. And they have areas where they've got tables set up, where they've got different sorts of TVs across there. You can play Mega Drive, play Atari, you know, you name it, there's all these different systems there. And then far back, they've got all the pinball section, which is, you know, one of my favorite sections to try and look at. And as I'm taking this photo, I saw that a great YouTuber that I support, and you would have seen in the YouTube community shout out video of recent, I saw Squirrel Jack, and I was like, took a photo, and I was like, wow, there's Squirrel Jack. So I thought I've definitely got to say hello to him this time. And you know, I went in there, and with my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, where's Squirrel Jack gone? I couldn't see him. So I decided to show you guys, or this is what happened to me. I went in and started taking a video of the retro systems and games that are very highly valuable, I must say. I'm glad they've got them right in lock and key, because I'm sure people that are a little bit dodgy would try and steal these things, because I just looked at them and I was like, wow, that's some serious value with some of those games. And as you can see by the video, guys, the games in these cabinets were absolutely amazing. Beautiful piece of history. This is one of my favorite things I like to look at when I go into the classic games area, is to look at the games that, you know, they've got in these cabinets, and the systems as well. I always get jealous of the Neo Geo. I've always wanted a Neo Geo, but they are very expensive, and a lot of the games that I want for it are very expensive too. So I tend to try and find, you know, the better sort of games that are on there, and if I can download them, you know, via the PS4 if they're available, I try and get them through the PSN network, because obviously these games don't get made anymore, or you will be waiting a long time for them to come out anyway. So yeah, as you see, guys, this beautiful games on show there. I noticed a game in there that was called Mario Hotel, and I was like, wow, I never even knew that existed, which was quite cool, and my girlfriend was quite fond of that game as well. So yeah, we wandered in, and I decided to play a bit of Kiss Pinball. They had the pinball machine there, and guys, this is me basically. I haven't played a pinball game in ages, and I pull back on it, and the ball doesn't even go through to the board. It just went whoop, whoop, and it was like the biggest fail. And I was like, oh please, I hope no one saw that. And then I shot it out the ball properly, and I had a bit of a game there. I wasn't too crash shy, so I must admit I didn't last very long. But then my girlfriend gets up and played a game, as you can see here in the photo, of the pinball, and she did really well. And we got talking to the guy who owned the Kissball pinball machine, and he was quite impressed with her score. But then he did tend to tell us that there was a guy the previous day who scored like in the millions. I think it was like 20 million or something, he said. A massive score. So that was pretty cool to see my girlfriend get some sort of recognition for a good score. So I was very proud. And then finally I noticed Squire Jack again, and went over to him and said hello. And just a really good guy. It was just nice to. I couldn't believe it when I went up to him and said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to Russ," and he said, "Like, I know who you are." I was like, "Wow, that is so cool for him to know who I was." So big supporter of his channel. I am a Patreon to his channel. I know it's not much, but I do give him $1 a month, and that helps him produce the great videos that he has been doing. And he was a nice guy. He was asking about how my flight was and how I was in general, and we had a little bit of a chat. And I let him know that I was really impressed with his Sly Raccoon review that he did. And it was funny that he was telling me how it was quite a difficult video to make, and he was basically hanging over the edge of a cliff at one part. It was quite a little bit scary for him. So yeah, it was lovely to meet him. And then basically my girlfriend and I went for a bit of a walk, and we went into the main games arena, or I should say main showcase arena, where they basically had Nintendo and Ubisoft was there, and Square Enix was there as well, which is fantastic. And as you can see, guys, the crowd for Square Enix around there was huge. I think they had a lot of Final Fantasy obviously on show, and I didn't really get much of a chance to play anything in there because it was just so packed, and it was really great to see. Showed a few of my friends on Instagram that are huge fans of Final Fantasy, and they were very jealous, as I can imagine I would be if someone was showing me some photos. And then I went into the I have to say my favorite area, being the PlayStation area, and the controllers on display, guys. Oh my god, like, as you can see by this video I'm putting up, it was absolutely just eye candy there. I'm a huge fan of PlayStation 4 controllers, and I'm trying to get them all, and just to see them all there, I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. Like, they had the camouflage one and all the transparent controllers as well, and it was just absolutely beautiful display. And then they had the amazing consoles, and it was really good to see them up close. I mean, myself, I was a bit, my girlfriend's got the Darth Vader PS4, and I absolutely love that. And when I saw the new designs come out for the Star Wars PS4 consoles, I think it's a more slim version, I wasn't too keen on them. I thought, they're not really that crash hot, but seeing them up close, I was like, ooh, I could perhaps buy one of those. And I was like, no, Russell, you will not. So you will not. You don't spend too much of your money. You got other things you could be buying. But yeah, those consoles were amazing. And then right in the middle of that display was the gorgeous PS4, or I should say it's PS3 as well, I guess, but the PlayStation Platinum Trophy right in the middle there. And oh my god, absolutely gorgeous to see that up close, and I've got lots of pictures of that there. And then I had a bit of a play with a few of the games that were on offer. They had quite a few screens around the place, and I got a chance to play Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. Played a bit of that. I had basically got towards finishing that game, but it was just good to play that again. It was really nice to play it on a really cool 4K TV as well. Well, it appeared to be 4K. It looked a lot sharper. than opposed to mine, and I believe it was a PlayStation 4 Pro that were playing it on as well. So definitely had the enhanced graphics there, which was great. So yeah, we had a bit of a look around, and the Ubisoft area is really cool. They were obviously doing the Far Cry 5 demonstration, was a big thing for them. Xbox looked really good, had a lot of great games on show. I didn't really get much of a chance to play the new Forza title, really wanted to. That's always something that's wanted me to try and get an Xbox One, is the Forza series, love it. But they had really good display once again for Nintendo, and he had the opportunity to stand up. I couldn't get in there though because it was so busy. To stand up with with the Mario character and put the little moustache up, and you could have like some selfies and that sort of thing, or the lady would take a photo of you. By far the Nintendo section, to me, like one of the most popular sections out of the three that are on show. Very open, and the lineup to get in for that was absolutely huge. Obviously a lot of people wanted to give the Switch a go, and I actually got to see the Switch up close. I didn't realise it was as neat as what it was, and I think my girlfriend and I will be looking at investing in one sometime in the near future. It does look quite cool. So then I was waiting to meet my good friend from YouTube, Tazen Gaming Spots. And it's funny, he sent me a message, because I sent him a message early in the morning. I said, hey dude, what time are you getting to PAX? And hadn't heard from him for like an hour or so, and I was like, oh, I don't know if he's coming or not. And then a bit later on, basically he told me that he had a big night celebrating a completion of his studies, and he had big nights, but he had a couple hours sleep and he was on his way. So I was really excited to finally get to meet him. And basically a couple of hours later, after my girlfriend and I had basically walked around a bit, and we had a bit of lunch and then sat down, because it was quite a lot of walking and we were a bit tired. We went back into the classic gaming room, and I pulled out my PlayStation Vita and played a bit of a new title I picked up. And that title there, guys, was Wipeout 2048. So picked this up at EB Games, and with that as well, also picked up Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. So this is quite a rare PS3 title. Picked that one up, very happy to have it. And I also picked up Splatterhouse, which I've heard is quite decent, and apparently when you finish it you get to play the original Splatterhouse as well, which is really cool as well. So finally my friend Tazen came in, and man, it was awesome. We connected straight away. The one thing I remember from quite vividly is just his really contagious laugh. It's very loud laugh, and it's a very funny laugh as well, and not in a bad way. It was just how people have that great laugh that you just love. It was from the get-go, I was like, oh man, this guy's cool. I really like this guy. He's just awesome. But we spoke about our videos and stuff for a little bit, and we proceeded to have a look around the convention and had a really good chat, and it was really good. And I think that was probably the definitely one of the biggest highlights for PAX, is just being able to meet people that you don't get to see on a regular, or don't get to see on at all, or on a regular basis. We talk to each other via YouTube and via Facebook when we get the chance, but we don't get to have that interaction. So it was great to just be able to walk around and talk to someone that has the same passion as me, being gaming. So yeah, awesome guy. We sat down and he spoke about what he's doing for his career, which was absolutely fascinating. Quite jealous. I work a very busy 9 to 5 sort of managerial sort of job, management job that is, and yeah, it's just great what he's doing. But we had a bit of a look around the board game section, and he was interested in looking at the Final Fantasy card game that was there. I was trying to tell him, dude, try not to get too hooked on that. You'll get sucked into buying a lot of cards. It's a great game, but he and then we both basically went and had a look through the where the main gaming section is, again with all the PlayStation, Nintendo and that. And I got him to have a little bit of a go on Uncharted. So as you can see through the footage here, he had a bit of a go, and he was enjoying it from what I could see. Quite a few times he was asking me, where do I go and stuff, and it'd been quite a bit of time since I played that at the title, so I was like, oh, I believe you go this way and I believe you go that way. But he had a great time doing that. And then we decided to have a bit of a look through the PlayStation area, because I was telling him about all the controllers that are on show. And that's when I discovered that these guys were giving out some posters of Horizon Zero Dawn, the new expansion coming out, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? And when I went around there, I basically found that the gaming developer Tom Stobo was there, and he was doing signatures. And I apologise, I forget what the other guy's name was that was alongside him, but I believe they were both the developers through the game, but Tom Stobo was definitely there, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get this. And I lined up in line. Now, it came with this beautiful poster, guys, of the Frozen Wilds. I'll try and pull it out for you guys so you can have a bit of a look without damaging it too much. But yeah, as you can see, got both signatures there in the corner. Can you see me, guys? Hello. But yeah, very, very happy to have this. And it was basically out of just pure chance that I came across that. I didn't even know it was on. If I had known it was on, I probably would have brought my game or something else to get signed. It was just so cool. And it was great to talk to them both. I was basically saying how, I loved the game, and, I loved the fact that, it was just such a beautiful world, and the storyline was fantastic, and spoke about the ending of the first one. I really loved it, and just the trials were quite a challenge as well, and how I'm looking really forward to the new Frozen Wilds expansion coming soon. So yeah, that's probably one of my second biggest highlights, or one of the biggest highlights of PAX, was coming across those guys and being able to get them to sign this great poster, which I'm definitely going to get framed and have that proudly on my wall. Now, a couple other things I picked up while I was in Melbourne, and that was this one here, Dragon Hunter Alliance. Now, what happened to my girlfriend and I was that we basically got lost in Melbourne. It's so big. We were looking for these EB games, and for some reason it led us down there way down the other side of Melbourne, and the GPS was saying it was in the middle of these really creepy train tracks, and we're just like, no. We're not coming here to get killed. We're going back in the city and we'll find something else. The GPS via the phone was just throwing everything out. But then we came back through and we managed to find this little shopping complex. And I think it's called Melbourne Central, I could be wrong, but went in there, and lo and behold, there was EB Games in there. And I went in there and I was having a bit of a look around, and then all of a sudden this great guy called the Kid Retro, which is one of my friends from Instagram, came up and said, hey, I know you. I was like, oh my god. And he was like, I'm the Kid Retro. I was like, far out. I just couldn't believe, I didn't even know he worked at EB Games, to be honest. And it was great just to have a bit of a chat with him, and he was super nice, and he hooked me up with this Dungeon Hunter Alliance game for the PlayStation Vita. So you can see I had a lot of luck with the PlayStation Vita while I was there, so that was great, and it was good to talk to him as well. Then we basically went back into the Melbourne city, and this is really my girlfriend's, it's not really mine, but she picked up for our collection the Nintendo Entertainment Classic Mini, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. The game, there's quite a good amount of games in there. Like, you've got things like Contra, Donkey Kong, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course, you got Star Fox, you name it. There's a lot of games in here. So it says 21 games in here, which is just fantastic for the value it was. I think it was like $99 or something like that. So yeah, it was really cool to pick that up as well. So yeah, there we have it, guys. Just a bit of a recap and some of the pickups that I got while I was at Melbourne. Not a huge amount of pickups. I spent a lot of money on merchandise while I was there, but the main thing was just getting out there, exploring Melbourne, but definitely getting there and exploring what PAX Oz had on show, and I just had an absolute blast. And it was great meeting Taze in Gaming Spot while I was down there. It was just just a great guy, and just all the beautiful displays that were put on by all the different people, Sony, Nintendo, all the little mini indie developers, all the people in regards to the board games, the guys who sell at the classic gaming area. Thank you so much for putting on a great show that I enjoy and I will always remember, and will always be coming back. I'm hoping to get back there again next year. I definitely have EB Games Expo on my radar, and I will be definitely going to that, so fingers crossed I'll try and sneak in PAX as well. Why not? Let's do it, eh? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, fools. See you later.